Hey, what's up, everyone? This is Jasmine from Cryptid Campfire. I just want to give a shout out to another podcast called Beast of the Week. I've listened to a few of their episodes. They are very entertaining. So if you like what we do here, I suggest jumping over there and giving them a listen too. Just know that they are a little more lenient with their curse words, so you'll hear some F-bombs, but it makes it entertaining. They also have longer episodes. Their episodes range from an hour to possibly an hour and a half, so just be prepared for that. But if you have the time, definitely click play.
It can only be attributable to human error.
You're entering paranormal.
He meddled in things that you people. He meddled in things. He meddled in things.
Where will we go next? This phantom from another time.
No one, Mr. Muller.
That's it, man. Game over, man. Game over.
That is one big pile of shit.
Hi, everybody. Welcome to Cryptid Campfire if you're a long-time listener. And if you're a new listener, we welcome you to Cryptid Campfire, where we sit around the fire and talk about weird cryptids. I'm Alex Daikaiju. To my left is...
Jasmine with?
And across from me is...
Eli and I have another podcast where we sit around the cryptid and talk about the fire.
It's called Campfire Cryptid.
Oh my gosh.
Okay.
What are we talking about today, folks?
Gargoyles!
Ah.
So my first introduction to gargoyles was the hit Disney film Hunchback of Notre Dame. What do I remember from it? Nothing. I just know that the gargoyles came to life and were Quasimodo's friends. That's about it.
Is that really the story?
Yeah.
Well, for the gargoyles, I mean, there's a whole bunch of other stuff that goes on.
Yeah.
I never
Quasimodo.
saw the
You
movie.
never seen it?
No.
That's pretty good. It's Disney tackles the evils of the Catholic Church in medieval times.
I one time dressed up as Esmeralda for Halloween, and I also had an Esmeralda nightgown as a child.
How did it make you feel?
Like a gypsy. I don't
Gypsy
know if that's
queen.
good or bad.
I was going to say, that's problematic in hindsight. Also, I guess my first introduction was the TV show Gargoyles, also by Disney.
I remember the TV show.
Yeah.
Was that a spin-off of the movie?
No.
Completely
It's like its own
unrelated.
thing, yeah.
What?
I know.
Yeah. There's two different Disney gargoyles. There's the ones from Hunchback of Notre Dame, and then there's the ones that are like the action heroes from Disney TV.
This is confusing
lot to
for
take in.
us.
Well, wait until we start talking about real gargoyles, and you're gonna get
Yeah.
even more
And what-
confused.
You want to know what my introduction to gargoyles is?
Yeah, what is it?
Decorative water spouts.
Yes.
Oh.
That's what I have.
From
Here.
the medieval times?
From the medieval time. Actually, they go back. I think they said the first one they found was from Turkey, and it was the shape of an alligator. It was like 13,000
Yep.
years old.
Yippers.
But like, it hasn't always been like what we come to think of as gargoyles. But like the purpose, the physical function of a gargoyle has been around for a while.
Yes. 13th century France is the earliest known existence of the traditional gargoyle that we're going to be talking about, which is, like Eli said, a structure found on buildings, originally designed as a spout to draw rain off of the roof and away from the sides of buildings to avoid water damage. That's literally all a gargoyle is. But it gets pretty crazy.
Fancy decorative gutters.
Do you guys have the story, the supposed story about where these gargoyles come from?
Are you
it
about
the
to tell us
legend?
the legend of the first gargoyle?
I'm telling you the legend of La Gargouille.
Yeah.
That one.
And Saint Romanus or Romanus
Oh,
or whatever
yeah.
you say.
Romaine lettuce.
Romaine lettuce.
Tell us the legend of this
Sure.
Gargolia.
Yeah, so it's a fearsome dragon.
Mm-hmm.
There was a fearsome dragon that was terrorizing the town of Rowan. That's
Yeah.
how I'm gonna say Rowan.
Romana.
Okay.
What year is this? Have you said?
Not yet.
Oh.
Calm down.
Not yet. For centuries, the dragon swallowed ships and flooded the town until, and I got 2 different years for this.
Okay.
I got 600 BCE or 640 CE.
Yeah, I got the 640.
Mm-hmm.
So I don't know which one it is.
But also I need to note that this dragon What did you say?
It's big as a house,
Okay.
small as a mouse.
What?
I
No.
don't know.
It said that it was a fire-breathing, water-vomiting,
Whoop.
town-terrorizing, dragon-like monster.
Oh,
That's almost like
and
poisonous venom.
yeah, that
Almost.
shoots lightning out of its butt. And did you guys get that it had bat-like wings?
No, I did not.
Yeah. So
Wow.
some of the stories say it had wings. Some of it said it was just a big old snake. Let's see. And you said it was like 600
600
BC is when it
somewhere.
happened.
Somewhere.
And
yeah.
because it says it was first
600.
recorded for the saint's life in like 1394 is the first documented appearance of it.
Of the legend.
Yeah, being attributed to Saint Romain,
Oh yeah.
or I guess Romanus. Saint Romanus.
Yeah, Romanus. He shows up, and he promises he'll vanquish the dragon if the
Mhm.
town promises to convert to Christianity.
You know,
Yeah.
that's how we do it.
Yeah.
That's
Kill the dragon. Either, convert to Christianity or we'll let the dragon eat
Yeah.
you. Just so you know, that's not how it works, guys.
He said either you repent your sins and escape from the devil, the dragon under the ground, or I'll let the dragon above ground eat you.
Well, so Romanus, he comes at the dragon by making the sign of the cross.
Mhm.
He tames it, and this part makes me sad because he tames it
Yeah.
and leads it into town and then burns it at the stake.
Yeah.
And because the head wasn't burning, they cut it off,
Yeah.
and then they put it on top of they affix it to the church.
Yeah. You know what's crazy too is I have different versions of what happens. With
Really?
The story. Yeah. So there's a story where he shows up and he's like, "Hey everybody, if you promise to be Christians, I'll kill that big old dragon for you." They're like, "Yes, please." There's also another version to where it's terrorizing the countryside and he just wants to go and hunt. He's like, "Well, I can't hunt. There's a big dragon in the way." He's like, "Does anyone want to help me kill this dragon?" And no one wanted to, except for the one guy who had nothing to lose, a convicted criminal. And so they went, and there's even different ways of how he defeated the monster. Some says he did the crucifix at it. He threw a crucifix at it. Some say he did the sign of the cross. Some say he took his belt off and used it as a
Whoa.
lasso to lead it back into town where they killed it.
What?
And let's see. Yeah, so he wanted to hunt. He did the sign of the cross. He put his belt on it as a leash. And then they burned it to death in the town. And they cut the head off and put it on the building.
That's
So
crazy.
there's and also this story led to a time-honored tradition where every year in this French province, it was called the bishop's privilege, and they would let one person who's convicted of a crime go free. They did that.
Interesting.
They did that every year until 1790, when a little thing we like to call the French Revolution came,
Oh,
and they
man.
stopped putting an end to that, and everyone who was convicted properly.
But the stories all end the same in that they mounted the head, right,
Mm.
to ward off or scare off evil spirits.
Or
which-
other dragons.
Yeah.
Right, which is essentially the idea of the modern day gargoyles as well.
I don't know if you guys want to know any more info, because I looked up Saint Romanus.
Oh, okay.
Okay.
Let's learn
'Cause-
about this guy.
Because it's like Eli said, he subdued the creature and it was like his pet, and then he led it into town to kill it. So I have a list of miracles that are attributed to him,
All right.
and a list of miracles attributed to Saint Romanus. The destruction of a temple of Venus. I guess before becoming a bishop, some faithful worshiper of Venus asked him if he could make a temple to worship her, and he said, "Well, let me think about it." And then he went into the temple and he pulled out the dedication on the altar, and the temple collapsed.
Whoa.
And then he went into another temple that was a pagan one and did the same thing, and it collapsed. And then one day he was supposed to do a baptism, and he dropped the holy water that was in the container on the ground, and he's like, "Oh crap!"
Just squish
So-
the guy's face on the ground, like run your nose through this.
Yeah. So he prayed, and the vase reformed with the water back in it,
Interesting.
and so apparently he breaks stuff, and he kind of gets a free get out of jail card.
Interesting.
And then one time at the end of his life, this is my favorite. At the end of his life, he retired to be a hermit to pray and meditate.
Mm-hmm.
A demon disguised as a poor woman came to ask for his charity, and though he hesitated and didn't want to be like, oh, I can't give hospitality, I'm like a bishop.
Oh no.
So he let the woman in, who then undressed,
Oh no.
and Romanus called on the Lord for help, and an angel intervened and threw the woman into a bottomless pit.
Oh my gosh.
And so he's kind of a dick.
Well,
I'm just gonna say it, like all the miracles attributed to his breaking stuff, and then he killed a dragon that he wanted to be his friend.
Yeah, I know, it's really
So,
messed up.
well, that's unfortunate.
Yeah, so this guy is crazy, and
Well.
that's Saint Romanus of Romaine lettuce.
So they put that dragon head on the building to
Mhm.
scare off evil spirits and other dragons, which is essentially the same tactic from medieval Europe, because apparently most medieval Europeans were illiterate, so the clergy needed visual representations of the horrors of hell to drive people to the sanctuary of the church. So they put gargoyles on the building's exterior to reinforce the idea that evil dwelt outside the church while salvation dwelt within.
Huh.
But also,
They're like, hey, you big dumb masses, come in this building with monsters in it. We'll
They
keep
also-
you safe from them.
they also played the other card by making gargoyles look like pagan gods to
Mhm.
draw other people in.
Oh, wow.
So
Oh,
it's kind of under
wow.
the
Fake
radar.
news.
Yeah.
Fake news.
Also, there was a reason why all the people were illiterate in the medieval times.
Is
Why?
this gonna be a joke? This is a joke.
I mean, it's just a little thing we like to attribute to the Bronze Age collapse.
Does anybody know?
Why everyone was illiterate?
No. I was gonna. How do you say this dragon's name?
Like gargoyle?
Gargoyle,
I don't know.
which is
Yeah.
French
No
for
idea.
gullet.
Which is, French for throat. So that gives us the word gargle, which describes the sound that is made when water passes through the throat of a gargoyle and mixes with air, but also the throat of a person too.
Yeah.
So.
Gargling
that's-
gargoyles.
He also has a nickname. They call him Goji.
Oh, yeah?
Yeah, and like
Aren't those a berry?
there's goji berries, but also that's like a nickname for Godzilla.
Gojira.
Gojira. If you're like go to any Godzilla forums, because there's different Godzillas throughout the years with different suits, and so you'll just call them like whatever that year is, like 74 Goji or 76 Goji. That's like a abbreviation, so you don't have to say Godzilla every time.
79 Goji?
Yeah.
89 Goji?
Yes.
99 Goji?
Yes.
87 Goji? I don't know. I'm just
No, 87.
What?
You were
found-
good until you weren't.
I found a couple other random facts
Okay, do
that
it.
may or may not be true about the legend of gargoyles. So tell me if you guys found this same stuff. Gargoyles are also believed to protect the buildings from evil spirits, which they said. But they can apparently communicate with each other, but only when the wind or rain passes through their mouths.
Only through the song, as through the magic of Disney.
With
yes.
all the colors
yes.
of the rainbow.
And then it's also said that they have the ability to manipulate water. So they're
Mm.
kind of like a water
They're waterbenders.
god, yeah, like
Whoa.
that. And then, but this is where like a lot of the legends and stuff kind of don't make sense, because we've said this a couple of times with other cryptids where like
Mhm.
something is supposed to be a protector, but then the legend also gets twisted and then these things become evil.
Like the Yeti.
Yeah,
'Cause
yeah.
He's supposed to be like the god of the forest,
Yeah.
like hanging out, but also he like throws
Yeah.
rocks at you.
Exactly, because I
Shoots
also
trees.
read that, you know,
Eats trees and leaves.
gargoyles are supposed to be protectors of the building, ward off evil spirits, but they're also apparently depicted as vessels for demonic possessions. So, who knows what's really
Yeah.
happening. And then, obviously, today we're going to talk about sightings of gargoyles, and these aren't always, friendly.
They're
So,
not the
who
fun,
really knows?
not the fun Wayne Newton voiced ones from Disney's Hunchback of Notre Dame.
Yeah. Yeah, dude.
Yeah, brah.
Yeah.
Like duh.
So do we want to dip into some sightings now?
Sure, I will
dip
say-
our toes.
I've got about, I kind of zeroed in on a couple sightings rather than listing a whole bunch of them, because there's a lot.
Yeah.
Mhm.
I mean, I don't know if you guys came across the document that exists that Lon Strickler made from Phantoms and Monsters. He's cataloged over 70 winged creature sightings on a map. The
I
documents.
have his website.
It's been viewed over like 1 million times, literally.
Oh, that means
So,
it's real.
I will let you guys go first and see what sightings you researched and have to talk about. And
Yeah.
then,
Well, this is what I did.
I'll see
okay?
if we have any extra. I'm sure we're gonna talk about the NASA gargoyle, right?
Yeah.
The which
so-
one?
The
Oh,
NASA.
yeah, NASA. I thought you said
so
something
I pulled up one, and then I pulled up the NASA gargoyle, and then I found Lon Strickler. I followed him on Twitter. I saw
Mhm.
that he had like 71 sightings, and I was like, I'm sure they're gonna cover this. So I didn't take any notes on it.
Wait,
I didn't really take any notes on it either. I just said it existed.
Yeah,
Because I mean, I'm really not gonna go through 70 sightings.
Because that's Lon
Yeah.
Strickler.
yeah,
Yeah.
He has a Twitter.
yeah.
You
Yeah.
should just at him, be like, "Hey, tell us about all these sightings."
He'll
So-
send the link to his map.
Yeah.
Yeah. So I got one in Spain,
Ooh.
2010.
Yep.
Okay.
Is this the little IT person?
What?
He works in IT.
Is this the tiny guy that everyone thinks is the gargoyle?
Alex?
What?
I got
I'm right here.
Nasurk.
Alex is his first name.
Yes, that's me.
Alex Nasurk.
28-year-old IT tech.
What the heck?
28? Okay. Well, apparently Jasmine knows a lot more about this than I do, so please
What?
take
Wait,
it
no,
away.
tell me what you have.
Okay.
All he has is that the guy's first name is Alex and he's 28
He doesn't
years
even
old.
have that. He has his last name.
I only have his last name.
Oh, shiitake.
So, I have the city in which it took place. I'm going to say that now.
Okay.
Santa Maria del Aguila,
Mm-hmm.
which is, I think it's Saint Mary of the Eagle.
Okay.
I'm pretty
That
sure
sounds cool.
Yeah. It's in southern Spain, which I hear is pretty nice.
This time of year.
Yeah.
That's where we're all going
so
for vacation.
he heard what sounded like was a woman shrieking at around 1 a.m. He peeks out of his fourth-story window to see the creature about 25 meters away. He describes it as having a thick, short beak. Its head seemed to stretch at the back. It had a bulky torso or body. It's like it had no front arms. It's
Okay.
like arms were its wings.
Hmm.
The wingspan was about 9 to 10 feet. Thick, powerful back legs that were held diagonally. Not exactly sure what that means. Long, thin tail. Heavy, slow movement.
Mm-hmm.
Pale. It was a pale pink color, about the size of a large dog or a large cat, like a lion or a tiger. I like how all of those things gradually get bigger. as
Yeah,
it
I was gonna
keeps
say
going.
it's like a dog. I was like, okay, but also like a cat. Oh, okay, but a tiger and a lion. Whoa, it's all over the place. It's technically the size of a cow.
I think it was about the size of a whale. He said the texture of the skin was like skin.
Oh, okay.
So it wasn't like
No feathers.
no feathers or
feathers.
scales. It didn't look like concrete.
With no Delver demon cirrhosis.
No. And he said it moved like a robot, which I
Oh.
find is interesting because in the Jersey Devil we talk about something moving like a robot.
Mm-hmm. So it was
So
like
it's
all
like-
herky jerky.
Yeah, so it's weird. There's
Yeah.
robots among us now.
Yeah. So this thing was just a big old pink cow with a beak.
Yeah.
So we ask ourselves, Alex, why didn't you take a picture? The answer to that question is he said he wanted to stay in the moment. Because
Did he really?
he did. I
that
mean,
means he was high.
not verbatim, but he did say the reason he didn't go to try and get his camera was because he knew by the time he came back to the window with the camera that the creature would be gone, and he didn't
Mhm.
want to miss it. Like he wanted to
He's
see
like,
it.
you know, you're not living in the moment because you're looking at it through a screen. Like you gotta cherish it.
Also,
Yeah.
though, his description is all over the place, but at the same time really detailed because
Yeah.
It's as
what
big
you
as
read-
a dog, but like really a cat,
Yeah.
but also a tiger or a lion.
what you read was like the second half, like the second time that he explained it.
Yeah.
Because the first time he starts to explain it, he says a lot of the same stuff, but he goes, it looked like it was a dog with wings. It was heavy. The way it flapped its wings looked either tired or about to fall to the ground. The legs were hanging. It seemed featherless. It looked like skin. It had a pale color. It looked pinkish. He says all of this again later, and
Yeah.
it's like, what are you doing? But he did say that it it didn't seem that it was hunting anything or that it was in any rush, but it looked powerful and like it could easily pick up a person. But
it could also barely fly.
yeah, it's very contradicting.
Interesting.
It's almost like he made the whole thing up.
Almost.
Almost. Well, that's the end. Good night, everybody. So that's Spain.
Yeah,
Okay.
and that was in 2010, I believe.
Exactly 9 years ago. 9 years ago today.
Oh
Just
wow.
kidding, I'm joking.
But then there's a sooner sighting.
A sooner?
Sooner.
On a schooner.
Do we want to talk about the NASA one?
Yeah,
Or
let's
is
go.
is that one already so well known that like
I didn't know about it
you
till
didn't know
today.
about it
Yeah.
when I said it?
No, I knew what you were talking about because
Oh,
I
yeah, 'cause
researched
you did
today.
research.
but-
Yeah.
So basically,
You guys know what the NASA sighting is, right?
right?
Yeah.
Right,
It's like,
yes, we don't
it's
need to
like
cover
first
it.
grade.
No.
All right. Well, good night, everybody. Yeah, let's talk about the NASA one.
Do you
It's
want to
fun.
talk about it?
Yeah.
Yeah.
Let's
What the
do
hell?
it. And give Alex the spotlight.
All right, because I got this one and I got a couple other sightings.
So I will just mention this first because I don't know if you're gonna say it or not. But the story doesn't come from the eyewitness directly. It comes from his daughter because, so like any of the information that's available about this sighting comes secondhand from his daughter. What is that face?
I
Eli's
opened
making
up
faces.
Facebook when I shouldn't have.
You made
and
a face
I saw a
when you-
meme.
You saw Big Chungus?
No.
So take it away, Alex. Tell
All
us
right.
about the NASA gargoyle.
All right, this is the NASA gargoyle, also known as Frank Shaw's gargoyle, because the guy who saw it was named Frank Shaw. It happened in 1986 in Texas, because that's where the
I'm with it.
Houston's Johnson Space Center. He was a NASA archivist who claimed to see a big old gargoyle. Did you want to take over, Jasmine?
Is that all you got?
Well, it's like my notes aren't as concise for this one as they are my other sightings. Because I was
Alright,
reading this
okay,
one, I was
okay.
like, oh, okay,
Well,
all right.
okay.
So-
Or
Do it.
Yeah.
He was walking back to his car when he just happened to glance up and saw this black gargoyle-like figure perched ominously on the edge of the Space Center's building.
And he couldn't tell what it was, right?
Mhm.
And then he realized it's staring at me.
Right, exactly. So he said that it was staring directly at him, almost as if it, like, enjoyed scaring the crap out of him. And when it opened its wings to like take off, he like snapped back. He snapped out of it and like came back to Earth. And he said he realized that. Well, his daughter says that he realized he heard a crackling noise as it took flight. So that's when he sprinted back to his vehicle.
Whoa.
So basically, when he got home, he didn't immediately tell his family what he had seen,
Mhm. He
but
was acting weird.
yeah, he was acting weird, and so his family was like, "Dude, what's up, man? Like, what is your deal?" And so eventually he told them, and they were like, "You've got to tell someone." And he was like, "No, I don't want to be made fun of. Like, everyone's just gonna think I'm crazy."
Oh, I got the other way around. That he wanted to tell people, and they were like, "No, don't tell anyone, because everyone's gonna think you're crazy and you're gonna lose your job."
Well, maybe.
Either
Yeah.
way, well, somebody
Either way.
said
Yeah, someone said you be acting crazy, pops.
it. Bruh.
But
Dude.
eventually he did tell his supervisor.
Mhm.
And instead of getting made fun of or mocked for being crazy, his supervisor told him, "You're not the only one." And so then he found out that like a file was made for this sighting or for this
Thing.
possible thing
Yeah.
because two of the base's German shepherds had
Got-
been like
Mhm. Been
mutilated
yeah.
Whoa.
in the same exact spot
Spot,
that
yeah.
he saw this creature. So his story made it all the way up to the chain of command until it apparently came to the attention of some NASA officials who told him that he was, or they interrogated him, basically.
Men in Black
Yeah,
style.
Men
It
in
was
Black
NASA
style.
security. According to the daughter, her father was intensely grilled by what she referred to as NASA security people who were flown in from somewhere in Arizona. That much I know.
Yeah.
She could tell because they smelled like sunscreen and wore sandals with socks. Because that's like Arizona people.
So basically, they told him that it's in the family's best interest that they not talk about this encounter, which is why we assume it took his daughter Desiree nearly 18 years to tell this story.
Mm-hmm.
Right, but she said it. I'm trying to find out if this dude's like still alive.
Yeah.
I wouldn't be surprised if he is.
It was only
I mean,
84.
yeah.
It's
Well, I don't know, 'cause,
2019.
like,
Anyone know
she
math
spilled
out there?
the beans.
86.
Yeah.
She spilled the beans, and now we're talking about it.
We're
Like,
talking about those beans that have been spilled.
And like the Men in Black, they
I
don't
mean-
forget things like
Well,
this.
it wasn't the Men in Black. It was NASA, quote, security,
Yeah,
unquote.
yeah.
Oh, really? I got
It
the
was
Men
in
Black.
Men in Black
Well, it's
style.
Men in Black style.
which is
They-
probably not a good adjective.
they
It probably
showed
throws
up
throws people off.
playing some
Yeah.
Will Smith.
Speaking of, did anybody see the trailer for the new Men in Black with Chris Hemsworth and
Mhm.
Tessa Thompson?
I think it's okay.
I'm watching that. I'm
Yeah.
just saying.
And not just because you get to see it for free.
So we might not get that movie. So who
Oh,
knows?
dang, never mind. It's not classy enough
Maybe I
for
don't
that
know.
one chain of movie theaters.
Yeah.
But I guess he described it as a jet black humanoid. It looked like it had a cape on or a wrinkled skin in the form of a cape, which is weird. And
That's kind of gross.
yeah, and some people say it looks kind of like Mothman.
I got a lot of Mothman things for this. and I
Yeah, but
don't-
Yeah. It's important to note, I think, that gargoyle has been kind of used as a catch-all term for any winged
Flying
creature
creature.
that's unidentified.
Mm-hmm.
Because I read some websites that even categorized the Jersey Devil as
a
Mm.
gargoyle.
a
Yeah.
gargoyle.
Yeah.
So I don't even know if a gargoyle is its own thing or if it's kind of just like
It's just like a catch-all term.
it's just like a
It's
catch-all
like
term,
people
like
use Loch Ness
animal
monster to describe sea monsters.
or Bigfoot. Like
Yeah.
it's like I don't even know if you can define what a gargoyle is because it's a hybrid of so many different things. Like even why are you laughing?
I'm sorry. Oh, now whenever I think of, there's this comic that Eli found.
That I found?
I think you found it, of a guy in the forest, and he said, "Oh my God, it's Bigfoot!" And he points at
Oh.
Bigfoot, and Bigfoot goes, "Oh, hey, look, it's small dick." And now that's all I think of. That Bigfoots call us small dicks.
Well, anyways.
I'm sorry, but that's just like, now whenever I hear Bigfoot, that's all I think of is that comic.
But
Bigfoot month is gonna be interesting.
It's gonna be dope.
the term gargoyle's kind of all over the place is what I'm trying to say because
Yeah.
they have different descriptions. Basically the only thing that ties them together is that they have wings and there's hundreds of creatures that have been unidentified that have wings and I mean
There's
what even is a gargoyle? Like is it a stone creature that comes to life and protects the cathedral?
That's what I thought.
Is it an animal that just lives in Spain and likes to make weird noises? Like I don't even know.
Is it a severed
What
dragon
are we even
head?
talking about? What even is a gargoyle?
Dude, it's
I
an
don't
alien
know.
experiment.
You know what was interesting though with
That there's an alien-shaped gargoyle somewhere.
yeah, the H.R. Geiger
Yeah.
alien one. Like, so they were restoring an old cathedral, and someone had the great idea to just make one of them look like an alien.
There's a Darth
And
Vader
it's
one.
awesome.
Is
yeah.
There's a Darth Vader one somewhere too.
There's what's funny is when I was looking up the Frank Shaw's gargoyle, another cryptid came up that I guess is also in Texas, and it's called Big Bird.
Big Bird?
Yeah.
Oh, jeez.
And it's like a giant pterodactyl with a monkey face that has terrorized people back in the Rio Grande area in 1976. So 10 years before that guy saw a gargoyle at NASA, there was a big old monkey face pterodactyl called Big Bird flying around.
I don't know what's happening.
And,
This is a lot of information.
but I guess that's it for Frank Shaw and his. Real quick, when I was looking that one up, somebody mentioned that sometimes gargoyles are like protectors of evil,
Mhm,
or
yeah.
sometimes they're harbors of like doom.
Yeah.
1986, the NASA guy saw it. Is the same year that the Challenger spaceship blew up.
Whoa.
Yeah.
Did that launch from Texas?
Cape Canaveral, but
Oh.
they do a lot of research at the Space Center.
Conspiracy.
Yeah, so maybe the gargoyle's trying to warn everyone that the spaceship was going to blow up by eating 2 German shepherds,
Or
and we
maybe
just
the
or-
didn't speak his
gargoyle was the
language.
one-
Maybe, yeah.
What does it mean?
Yeah. Dear NASA, tweet us at
Yeah.
You can
cryptidcampfirepodcast
just-
At us.
You
at
can just-
gmail.com.
You can just see some people finding these German shepherds. What the hell happened? I don't think we should launch that.
Yeah. Their guts.
It's a bad omen, guys.
Their guts were spelled out. Don't launch the Challenger. What does it mean? What does it mean?
This shouldn't be funny.
It shouldn't, but hey, you know what the hell. 2019, the government shut down. The next episode, we're going to be covering the case of the missing W-2, so we can file taxes.
That's right. Are we even going to get those?
I don't think so.
So
2019's off to a good start, everybody.
So, other than that, we've got some sightings in Nevada.
Yeah?
We got some things going on in 2015. We got Puerto Rico just last year.
Whoa, tell us. Spill the beans.
Yeah.
About Puerto Rico?
Yeah.
About everything, because I don't have any.
Yeah.
Really?
Yeah, spill the beans, and if you're listening and you work for Bush's Baked Beans, you can sponsor us, and we can spill those beans on air.
These are real. I don't have a ton of information on these. It's kind of just one of those, they were listed. So 2015, 2 people in Nevada saw a creature that reminded them of a pterosaur, which is a flying reptile that's believed to have gone extinct about 65 million years ago. 2 weeks after that, a guy and his daughter claimed to have seen an unidentified flying creature that they described as being straight out of Jurassic Park.
Technically, it should have been The Lost World of Jurassic Park 3, because pterodactyls don't show up in the first one.
And then in September of 2015, multiple eyewitnesses reported seeing a winged humanoid in Singapore. 2 months after that, a Portugal student said he had seen a giant bat-like creature in the southern side of the country. And then there's a little bit of a gap in my research, but we come to just last year in 2018, Puerto Rico. A bunch of chickens and roosters were found killed by an unknown predator, and, you know, of course, they were missing all of their blood. So we're thinking maybe a chupacabra.
Oh, Chupacabra's back, baby.
Well, the chupacabra can, according to some, it can fly, right?
Yeah,
Right.
He has different life cycles where he changes forms.
Yeah.
So again,
Like a
chupacabra
Mm-hmm.
categorized as a gargoyle, perhaps. So these people found their chickens and whatnot mutilated, and they were like, we shouldn't launch the rocket.
Yeah, it's all coming back. It's making sense. We're cracking the code.
But there's one eyewitness, first name Edgardo, last name...
Edgardo?
Yeah,
Edgardo.
that's, unless I copy and pasted that name wrong, I don't know. But he said he was sitting outside during a full moon when he sensed a shadow pass over his head. Basically, he saw a flying bodybuilder
Oh,
go across the sky
it was just Arnold Schwarzenegger paragliding at night.
in Puerto Rico.
Yeah. I'm just trying to go on vacation.
I'm gonna throw up. But other people said that they heard bizarre sounds in that area. So they banded together to try and hunt for it, but they didn't find much. They just found some trees that had claw
Covered
marks.
himself in mud. Booby traps.
They just found signed copies around the world in 80 days.
My chest hurts, guys. So these people in Puerto Rico tried to go on a hunt and find it, but like I said, they only found trees with claw marks on them. And then, but they also claimed to have smelled an unbearable and inexplicable odor for about 20 minutes straight. And then they also claimed that there was an unidentified light that they said seemed to have been watching them. They didn't say it was eyes. They just said it was a light.
A light.
So fast forward a couple of months, this same area, a group of men in Puerto Rico found they didn't find a bucket. I was going to say they found
a bucket. And one of them kicked it.
They found a bunch of parts of bodies, not human bodies, but
Okay.
they were in a cave, okay? They were in a cave, and they found a bunch of body parts that seemed to resemble skulls, jaws, legs, and a piece of leathery skin, and a number of small skulls. So these people are claiming to have found the possible offspring, remains of the offspring of this chupacabra gargoyle creature. But there was some speculation because some people claimed that the body parts looked like they had come from a pig or a boar. But then there was arguments against that, saying that a pig's fangs point up and its ears point back, which is the opposite of what they found on this head in the bucket.
Mm.
So there was no
Did you get pictures?
evidence. No.
Picture
There's
didn't
nothing.
happen.
They just,
No,
they cooked
But
it.
they did take advantage of these sightings and suspicions because you can go to a bar and get the shot of the gargoyle, and you can also go to the local ice cream parlor to get the gargoyle ice cream roll. So
Dude,
that's what's happened in Puerto Rico.
Puerto Rico, they did the same thing with the chupacabra.
Yeah.
They just capitalized on everything.
We talked about what the Dover Demon, the guy who swore on a stack of Bibles.
Yeah.
He's like
Bill?
Yeah,
Yeah.
old Billy, and he's just like, I don't ever want to talk about it again. It's like, no, like you can make money off of this thing
Yeah,
now.
yeah.
I want to know what flavor this ice cream roll is, because ice cream's my favorite junk food. I'd
Maybe
be down
it's-
for that.
It's like rolled up like
Field trip.
animal parts.
No, I wouldn't. Nope,
They
that's an Andrew
they-
Zimmern Bizarre Foods type of treat.
Yeah,
I'm not
they,
into
They
that.
just grabbed whatever was found in that bucket and put it in the ice cream.
Ew.
And then the shot is just like Jaeger that they light on fire.
But those are all. That's all I took note of for sightings.
Yeah.
Because, like I mentioned earlier,
That's,
this stuff is just kind of all over the place.
Yeah,
Like,
this is pretty wild.
Well-
what's a gargoyle?
I have in my book of American monsters.
Eli with the book again.
Yeah.
I gotta get
what
some
the
books.
hell?
It's a good
I
book.
need some books.
Good book.
Well, who
She-
needs books when you have the internet?
She breaks up the book into 3 chunks. There's flying.
Three chungus.
Three chunguses?
Three
Oh my
chunguses?
goodness.
Jasmine on the chungus bandwagon.
I hate myself.
That'll hold him.
So it's
Three
a
chunks.
it's in 3 chunguses. The first one's flying chunguses, then they have sea chunguses, and then land chunguses.
And then the third one is big chungus.
So
No, time out. Is this a meme that you guys made up yourself, or is this something
No,
that
this
you
is
see
like-
Google?
This is
Because people are not gonna know what's
yeah.
going on.
So, big chungus.
Is it cryptid?
Yes. It's modern day.
Next week on Cryptid Campfire.
The big chungus edition.
how did this happen? Jasmine started the chunks. Completely
Explain it,
different.
Alex.
So, Big Chungus is a meme of a fat Bugs Bunny that someone photoshopped onto a PS4 game cover. And it's called Big Chungus, now featuring Dante from Devil May Cry 2. And it became famous because a lady went to a GameStop and she went to the employee and she said, "Hi, do you have Big Chungus for PS4?" And he said, "What?" And she showed him his phone, and she had been texting her son saying, "Listen, I'm going to GameStop. I need some ideas for a Christmas present for you." And the son texted her back, "Big Chungus for PS4." And she went and asked for it at GameStop. And that's why
I'm
it's
so
so
sorry.
amazing.
I'm so sorry, guys. All right, everybody, breathe in.
We got the Big Chungus out of our system.
Breathe out.
Well, anyways, like I was trying to say before chungus ruined our lives.
Yeah, Chungus is forever.
This book, the first part of the book, the first third of the book is about flying cryptids, and she breaks it up. She has like Mothman, Jersey Devil, and then she has Bat Squatch in there,
What?
which is basically large, hairy humanoids.
Mm-hmm.
Like not quite Mothman.
Mhm.
They look like Sasquatch, but with wings.
Oh, what?
So yeah, and like a bunch of people have seen these things.
Bigfoot's evolving.
Yeah.
He's doing aerial warfare now.
So we can talk about that during Bigfoot month probably.
Heck yeah.
Let's talk about Bat Squatch. But yeah, that's all I have.
I'm Bat Squatch.
That's all I have on gargoyles.
Gargoyles.
That was a bit of a mess, guys.
Yeah,
but-
I guess we're winding down. I was just gonna say for sightings, I guess Chili's like popping for gargoyles.
What?
Yeah.
Oh.
We both misunderstood.
Yeah.
Eli and I both thought you were talking about the restaurant.
I am. Yeah.
Welcome to Chili's.
Yeah. Hi, welcome to Chili's. Yeah.
There's a bunch
and-
of gargoyles up in there.
Chile?
Yeah, that's all who eat there. If you want
I
to
hate
sponsor us
this.
for Chili's,
I
you
hate
know, you
this so much.
but the would I say the country or the
restaurant.
It's a country.
Country, yeah.
Chile.
Chile.
That's where Pedro Pascal is from.
Yeah?
I'm
Chilean.
glad
It's-
that you know
we
that.
should all tweet Pedro Pascal if he's seen a gargoyle.
And what do you think about the gargoyles?
Yeah, what do you
And don't forget to tweet Andy Grammer.
Yeah, Andy Grammer, what do you think about the Yeti? Pedro Pascal, what do you think of the gargoyles?
We just have to attach a celebrity to every cryptid we do.
Yeah, for Bigfoot month it'll be Willie Nelson.
It'll be
For
Joe
Big-
Rogan.
Yeah. You hear about that Sasquatch DMT? But I found a bunch of sightings in Chile.
Oh, you were talking about.
Yeah.
I hate this so much. It wasn't just a joke. It was real. Okay.
Yeah.
All right. Gosh, I'm getting the ab workout today.
In July 2004, a family of
16.
about mom, dad, 3 kids, and a nephew were traveling on it is they describe this road in a really funny way. I'm trying to find it. It's
Is it yellow brick?
No. Oh, here it is. It's the in Pampa Aca, which is like 12 miles away from the port city of Arica. There's there's the Pan American Highway that twists through this barren wasteland like an asphalt serpent.
Like an asphalt serpent.
That's the description.
That sounds the sounds together.
I gotta tell you, the most interesting thing I found about researching gargoyles is everyone who writes about them is like a hack writer.
Yeah.
They like twist through this barren wasteland like an asphalt serpent. But basically, they got attacked by.
They got attacked? Did somebody die?
The car got attacked
Oh, okay.
by.
Maybe it felt threatened.
Yeah, it was 2 of them that they saw. This is an account by one of the people. I was traveling in the back seat with my brothers, talking, and suddenly everything went dark. When I told my brother what I was seeing, he told me to keep quiet because Mom gets nervous. Later, I looked through the window and saw some things that looked like birds with dogs' heads and back-swept wings. My father said they were like gargoyles. They were apparently 6 feet in length. They didn't have any legs, just wings.
Oh.
And but then the mom saw it and she described it as a dog-faced kangaroo.
So we're back to.
We're back to the Jersey
Are these
Devil.
possibly fruit bats?
No.
That's a big fruit bat.
Yeah, it's a
6
big
feet?
ass fruit
What do you
bat.
mean? Average wingspan of a fruit bat is 5 feet.
Well, this thing was 6 feet tall.
Oh.
Yeah, it's a big boy.
That's different.
Possibly it could be a mutant bat.
Yeah.
All right, continue.
But they like flew around. They kind of banged on the car, and then the what's interesting is the dad. He actually works for the military.
Okay.
NASA. Right?
No,
This
he's
is
a
This
Cazadore
isn't
regiment, which is he's like an army sub officer, and he went back to his base after they did their trip, and I guess everyone at this work had seen those things too.
Oh, wow.
Yeah, so I guess on this road, people describe seeing a lot of giant flying creatures that will sometimes attack the cars, and then sometimes people they find dog remains around Chile every so often when people describe weird sounds at night and they see like flying things in the air. There's a whole lot of them. Sometimes they're described as big monkeys with long clawed arms and enormous fangs protruding from their mouth. Someone described one as a pterodactyl, but with like skeleton wings. And yeah, there's weird stuff happening in Chile. I had more research, but this episode's gone so off the rails that it doesn't matter anymore.
Yeah.
Well, I didn't read anything about Chile, so good
Well,
on you.
Yeah.
I have a story about a gargoyle.
Oh?
I don't.
Personal story?
It's not my personal story, but someone I know.
Hey, it's
Oh,
a
yeah, that's
secondhand
right.
story.
Secondhand story. He was a person in my religion and science class in college.
Fitting.
Yeah. And they kept wanting me to hang out with them all semester, and they're all like probably 30 to 40, and there's like probably a group of 6 of them, and I'm like 20. So I was like, I don't know if I want to hang out with you guys, but I finally did it on the last day. I was like, I'll go with you guys. And we were hanging out, and then we started talking about weird stuff, and then this guy was like, I've seen a gargoyle. And I was like, what? Sorry, my bad.
Yeah, please.
Yeah, so this gargoyle. So the story is, it was him and his buddy. And I wish I could provide like names and more details, but they were leaving somewhere. And it was late at night, and it was like, I think it was California they were in. And it was like this desert road, middle of the night, like typical like I got abducted by a UFO type road, because they were the only ones on it. And they were coming up towards like this sign, like one of the overhanging signs, like this exit in so many miles. And they both were like tired, and so they both like didn't say anything. They were just like staring ahead, and they both saw this thing on top of the sign. And it was like this big gray shape, and as they got closer to it, it jumps off the sign and flies right in front of their car. But as it passes, they both see the face clearly, and it's like, it's all gray, and it's got big wings, and it's got the face was like 3 holes. It was like 2 black eyes and a mouth that was open, and it was like just holes. Like it wasn't
like a bowling ball.
Almost, yeah.
Whoa, that's
and
weird.
And it just like flew past the car, and they both like waited a minute, and then they were like, "Did you see that?" And they're like, "Yeah, I did." So they got home to his buddy's house, and he was like, "I think I know what that thing was, because I have this book at home that talks about gargoyles." And when they opened up the book and they looked at the picture, it was exactly what they had seen.
Ooh.
And that was like the story that he told me, and I was like, bro, that's wild.
That's insane.
So I know a person who's seen a gargoyle.
Yeah, now we gotta see one.
Yeah,
Let's
we
all
gotta go to Chile.
Yeah, let's go to Chile.
Let's go to Chili's.
We'll go in Chili's and hang out in the parking lot and see how the gargoyles go in and out that eat there.
So did you want to share any more research, or we?
Oh, you know what was interesting? This is like an offshoot of, because I was researching. I found a website like a forum for all things about Chile, however you may pronounce it, Chile, and somebody was saying, oh, you should just keep a fire burning bright outside your house, and that'll keep the churracos away.
And this is back in Chile?
Yeah.
Wow.
And I guess it's a traditional myth is a churraco is a humanoid creature of small stature, usually like a dwarf or a goblin, that lives deep in the forest. It's super ugly, and it has legs with no feet. And the legend is the churracos is a mythical entity who inhabits the woods in Chiloe, an island in the south of Chile. It is a powerful magnetism that attracts young, middle-aged women, and apparently
young. Is it young and middle-aged women, or young middle-aged women?
Young and middle-aged women.
Okay.
And apparently he has a little hatchet that he hits on trees to symbolize his sexual potency.
Okay.
Oh, man.
And whoever the churraco chooses to go with him will be enraptured, and he has sex with people.
Woo, we have really lost.
And if a single woman gets pregnant and no one steps up to take the mantle of being the dad, everyone just assumes that churraco was the one who got her pregnant.
I'm so confused on how we even got here. I don't even know what we're talking about.
So maybe a
anymore.
churraco is an offshoot of a gargoyle.
It
But
But
must be.
instead
I
of
don't know.
warding off evil spirits, he gets ladies pregnant. Hopefully consensual, or else it'd be very problematic.
I think we have exhausted this subject.
Yeah.
It's pretty funny, though.
That's pretty. So that was like an offshoot of looking up gargoyles in Chile.
All right.
So everyone should tweet Pedro Pascal what his opinions are about the Triaco.
Oh, Pedro. I love you.
It's true. She talks about that a lot.
Well,
Oh,
anyways,
alright.
guys, thanks
Oh, well,
for
yeah,
listening.
thanks for listening, everybody.
It's been a wild ride.
Yeah, we hope you enjoyed it. If you want to @ any of us on Twitter, You can at me at AlexDaikaiju. That's Alex DAIKAIJU. And if I wanted to get in touch with you,
You can follow me on Twitter as well at JasmineMaeW. That's JasmineMaeW. If you do give me a follow or send me a tweet, let me know where you heard of me from. Let us know that you listen to Cryptid Campfire. And if you want to get a hold of Eli,
it's at EJ Workshop.
yeah, and
Thank
you
you.
should message him where you've heard his stories.
Yeah. Yeah, message me your stories and I'll share them on the podcast.
Yeah, send us some weird stuff. And you can email us too at cryptidcampfirepodcast@gmail.com if you have any stories or suggestions. If you want to hear us cover anything, we'll definitely do that. Until next week, everybody.
stay warm around the fire. Get it?
Yeah. Hey.
Yeah.
Hey.
Oh.